One paycheck arrives for 3 households. The money has to cover formal child support, food, clothing, transportation, childcare, school needs, medical costs, and the father's own basic bills. His calendar faces similar pressure. 3 homes may have 3 school schedules, 3 sets of appointments, and 3 groups of people who need his time. When total demands rise above his income, the result can include unpaid support, delayed purchases, borrowed money, or less money for each household. This is an illustrative family, built to show the financial mechanics. The exact outcome changes with income, custody, legal orders, and cooperation between the adults. About 13% of American men ages 40 to 44 have had children with more than one partner. That's crazy. The pattern affects enough families to deserve a careful look at how the money moves. The key question is not simply how much one household receives, it is whether one income and one schedule can meet the combined demands of all 3 homes. Hey, it's CJ, the creator of this channel. If you want to make automated videos like this, topictovideo.com will do it all for you. You don't need a camera, script, or microphone. All you need is an idea. The visuals, voiceover, and script are all generated automatically. Try it free today at topictovideo.com. Back to the video. Joseph is an illustrative father with children living in 3 households. Each home has its own routine. One child may need a school ride, another may have a medical appointment, and a third may need clothes, meals, or help with a school expense. Joseph's paycheck enters his account as one pool of money, not as 3 separate envelopes for 3 complete budgets. A court or agency can assign a formal child support obligation, which is money for a child's support. A payment is the money that reaches the other household. Direct spending covers things Joseph buys or pays for himself, such as a coat, a meal, a bus ride, or childcare. These categories can overlap, and each household may count on a different kind of help. Joseph also needs housing, food, transportation, and the cost of earning his income. Money sent to one home leaves less cash for the rest of the budget. Travel between homes also uses time, fuel, and planning. A money problem can become a calendar problem. That difference matters because a formal obligation records what is required, while a payment records what was actually transferred. A direct purchase may help a child without reducing the formal amount shown on paper. The first household may receive a scheduled payment. The second may have a different legal order or custody arrangement. The third may depend more on direct purchases or shared costs. Support rules vary by jurisdiction, income, custody, and parenting arrangement. The amount owed on paper shows a legal responsibility. The amount paid shows what reached the household. Money spent directly on a child adds another part of the burden. These figures can move in different directions. Joseph can owe more than he has available during a month. He can make a payment and still face a request for school supplies in another home. He can buy those supplies and then have less cash for transportation to a scheduled visit. The paycheck stays fixed while the claims around it shift. A demand that looks manageable by itself can become difficult beside the others. Each household sees the expense in front of it. Joseph sees the entire map at once. This is why the same paycheck can look adequate in one part of the month and insufficient in another. The problem is not just dividing money, it is matching money, care, and timing to several households at once. Suppose the illustration begins with a fixed monthly income. The exact dollar amount stays unnamed because real families have very different earnings. Joseph first covers the costs that keep him able to work. Formal obligations then claim their assigned amounts, and direct child expenses appear throughout the month. The remaining money becomes the flexible part of the budget. That part may shrink to almost nothing. If one household receives more money, the other households do not gain new income. If Joseph buys something directly for one child, that purchase helps the child but reduces the cash available elsewhere. A shortfall can grow quietly. One payment arrives late, a clothing purchase goes on a credit card, or a trip gets canceled because the fuel money is gone. The unpaid balance can grow even while Joseph pays some support. Research on unwed fathers whose children live outside their home found that earlier estimates overstated their combined ability to pay by roughly 33 to 60% when low earnings and children with multiple partners were included. The same research found that earlier estimates understated total obligations to earlier and current children by roughly 12 to 34%. That's crazy, right? The paper picture of what fathers could pay and the actual money available can be far apart. A budget tracks both cash leaving the account and obligations still waiting to be paid. Looking at only one of those lists can make the family seem better able to pay than it really is. Time has a hard limit too. A school pickup in one household can overlap with a visit in another. A work shift can block an appointment. A longer drive can turn a short visit into a large transportation cost. These pressures reach children through ordinary moments. A missed pickup may force a household to arrange childcare. A delayed payment may cause a parent to postpone a purchase. A canceled visit can change who provides dinner, supervision, or transportation that day. Each household may have a reasonable need, but all three draw from the same income and weekly schedule. Cooperation can change the result, as can custody, enforcement, the children's ages, and the timing of new obligations. A simple division by 3 cannot describe this reality. The homes require different things at different times. The calendar can also change the money problem without changing the paycheck. When time or travel makes a planned exchange difficult, another adult or another household may have to cover the missed task. When researchers compare fathers with children by different numbers of partners, they find that those with more partners may pay more formal support in total. Their obligations can grow faster than their payments, which lowers the share of what they owe that they pay. Researchers call that share the compliance rate. It means the amount paid divided by the amount owed. This finding describes a group pattern, not the reason for any one father's payment history. Earnings, enforcement, custody, new relationships, and the timing of children can shape the result. Studies also find that fathers with children by other mothers may face a larger total support burden. Some studies find that fathers are more likely to pay support for newer biological children than for earlier biological children. The three households may therefore have different experiences. One may receive a regular formal payment. Another may receive occasional direct help. A third may see an unpaid balance grow. The same father can appear more present in one budget and less present in another because the obligations began at different times and the households use different arrangements. In simple terms, paying more overall does not always mean keeping up better. If the amount owed grows even faster, the unpaid share can still become larger. These conditions can produce very different outcomes. A higher income may leave room for formal support, direct expenses, living costs, and travel. A lower income can force hard choices before the month ends. A custody schedule can reduce travel in one family and increase it in another. One legal arrangement may set regular payments, while another may involve changing responsibilities as children's needs change. Informal cooperation can help a household plan. Conflict or strict enforcement can make missed payments more costly. The number of partners alone cannot predict the result. Compare total demand with the income realistically available after the cost of maintaining work and meeting basic needs. Total demand includes formal support and the everyday cost of raising children across separate homes. When demand stays within that available income, the arrangement can function. When demand rises above it, the gap appears somewhere in the system. It may show up as debt, unpaid support, reduced visits, delayed purchases, or pressure on the other adults in the households. This comparison also separates capacity from intention. Capacity means what the earner can provide after necessary costs, while intention alone cannot create money or time that is not available. Joseph's story is an illustration, not a verdict about every father or household. Income, custody, legal arrangements, and cooperation shape the outcome. Check this out. The useful measure is what money and time remain after work costs and legal obligations are placed on the same calendar. If those resources cannot cover the children's needs, the pressure appears as debt, unpaid support, fewer visits, or delayed purchases. So the answer is a balancing problem with no single universal result. One paycheck can reach 3 households, but the outcome depends on whether it's limited money and time are enough for the total responsibilities. Hey, it's CJ, the creator of this channel. If you want to make automated videos like this, topictovideo.com will do it all for you. You don't need a camera, script, or microphone. All you need is an idea. The visuals, voiceover, and script are all generated automatically. Try it free today at topic_to video.com. Back to the video.